Let's march on, everybody. We have at least one more season after all. Shockingly, though, the Chicago Bulls beat the Dallas Mavericks to win the 1997 NBA Final. Let's see what happens next time. In terms of player retirements, Larry Nance is gone. Isaiah Thomas is gone. That's a big loss for the Pistons. James Worthy is retired. Okay, there's some decent names moving on here. Cam, what's going on, by the way? Onkak's gone as an NBA champion. Fair enough. Manute Bol. Not Manute. Not Manute. In a league without Manute Bol. Your Hall of Fame inductees this year, Isaiah Thomas and James Worthy, which both make a hell of a lot of sense. And retirements, Isaiah Thomas and James Worthy. Cam, we're still going at it, man. Still plugging away. Chat's still ahead, though. The Washington Bullets are no more. The Washington Wizards are here. A full uniform, just outright appearance change for the 76ers. Uniform change for the Kings. Full sale change for the Nets. Logo update for the Warriors this year. But a lot of branding changes there. So we go to the draft lottery, which this year is not all that interesting for chat, but could be very interesting for me, as I have pick number 3 and 5 in the lottery system. If I'm not mistaken, both have 0 protections on them as well. So this could be interesting for your boy, or not, because again, my lottery luck is typically dog shit. But let's see what happens here for the 1997 draft. It would be a decent draft for me to have some luck, at least top 2. We shall see. Oh, the Timberwolves. What a look. What a look. Watch you get fucked out of both. Probably. Pick number 12 in the 97 draft belongs to Sacramento. And the Rock is going to leave Sacramento. God, 90s logos were just the best. The 11th overall pick belongs to Minnesota as well, courtesy of their actual selection. The 10th overall pick in the draft. What a logo for the Pistons, by the way. Still belongs to Detroit. I'm sorry, that logo is so good. The 9th overall pick in this draft belongs to the Boston Celtics. The 8th overall pick belongs to the Phoenix Suns. Still no movement with Charles Barkley being a free agent. The 7th overall pick belongs to the Lakers. Still no movement. The 6th overall pick belongs to Toronto. Still no movement. 2 top 5 picks coming my way. Maybe even better. 5th overall belongs to Houston. Okay? That's courtesy of the Cleveland pick. I got one more pick in the running here. At least 2 top 5 picks for me. 4th overall I knew it. I knew Vancouver was going to move up. So the Grizzlies jumped me. I will have picks 4 and 5, but for chat, that does mean I'm going to miss out on Tim Duncan and Chauncey Billups. Probably Tracy McGrady as well. So my shit luck continues. Boston has the 3rd overall pick. So we'll see. Will it be Atlanta or Vancouver? The Atlanta Hawks have the number 1 overall pick in this draft. Tim Duncan is likely heading to Atlanta. So in this year's draft, the Rockets have picks number 4, 5, 21, and 24, while chat's Mavericks have picks number 27 and 28. All right. So to the 97 draft we go. Atlanta, with the 1st overall pick, select Tim Duncan. I needed him badly. Vancouver at 2, select nobody. They trade the pick. It's going to be the second overall pick and a first in 2001 for Reggie Lewis and Latrell Sprewell. The Celtics making moves. Reggie Lewis and Latrell Sprewell for the second overall pick and a first rounder in 2001. So the Celtics now have back-to-back picks. With number 2, they take Tracy McGrady. And at number 3, they take Keith Van Horn. They fucked up, chat. They fucked up. Something goes my way. Pick number 4, Chauncey Billups. Welcome to Houston. Thank fuck. Oh, thank fuck. Something went my way. He should not have fallen to me at 4. Whew. No trade offer for pick number 5 either, so let's take a look. Now I got Billups at point guard. I need a forward, because I got Jim Jackson at shooting guard, but I'm losing Glenn Rice. But then again, I got Peja. I could use a backup forward or a backup center. So who's available for me here? Point guard, Mike Penberthy. Got the Rick Brunson and Bobby Jackson. Brevin Knight's in this draft. At shooting guard, Antonio Daniels, Anthony Parker, Derek Anderson, not much. Forward, Steven Jackson, Eddie Robinson, Steven Jackson. Power forward, Tim Thomas, Austin Crozier, Mark Jackson, Maurice Taylor. And at center, Predrag Drobnjak, Brad Miller, O'Donnell Foyle, Scott Pollard. Okay. There's a couple of centers I wouldn't mind getting. Clearly the best forward, though, is Steven Jackson, and he's the pick. Chauncey Billups and Steven Jackson. Not a bad bit of business for me at picks 4 and 5. At 6, the Toronto Raptors select center Brad Miller. God, Brad Miller to get rebounds and kick it back to AI. God damn. Mark Blount's a name I haven't seen in a long time. Yeah, Reaver, from what I can tell, you're a big fan of trying to forget an entire era of the Celtics. And I don't blame you for that, but still. Tugi's roster turning into Malice in the Palace. Well, if you guys didn't take Ben Wallace from me, you selfish fucks. At 7, the LA Lakers select Eddie Robinson. At 8, the Phoenix Suns take Antonio Daniels. Boston at 9, Anthony Parker. Detroit at 10, Drobnjak. Good old Predro. At 11, Minnesota trades the pick. 11th overall for Wayman Tisdale. Okay. I mean, he's old, but fair enough. So Phoenix at 11 take Austin Crozier. Crozier, whatever. I always heard Crozier. At 12, Sacramento take O'Donnell Foyle. At 13, Minnesota take Tim Thomas. Golden State at 14, Mark Blount. I liked that Warriors branding, but yes, what they've had and went back to over the last decade or so is better. But I did like that branding. San Antonio at 15, Scott Pollard, future survivor. At 16, Miami, Fabricio Oberto. Fair enough. Utah at 17, trade the pick to Milwaukee for Jay Humphreys at point guard. Clearly the AI doesn't view this as a very valuable draft at this stage either. Derek Anderson's off to Milwaukee. The Nets at 18 trade the pick to Chicago for a first in 01 and a second rounder next year. Never mind. Clearly the Bulls have someone that they like as they take Damon Jones. There. Orlando at 19, Pat Burke. Mr. Clean. Milwaukee at 20, Jacques Vaughn. That brings up my Rockets again at 21. I have to make the pick. And unfortunately, the centers I wanted are pretty much gone. So, looking like a point guard or a power forward. I'll probably take the power forward because there will still be point guards available by my next pick. Unless there's anybody here with a crazy ceiling. That is not the case. So, Mark Jackson, welcome to Houston. Charlotte at 22, select Maurice Taylor. Denver at 23, Mike Penberthy. And the Rockets back up at 24, still no trades. So I need to take a point guard. Rick Brunson is old. Could go for Brevin Knight, but I know his overall is lower. Rusty LaRue. What a name. Let's... Who do we want to go for here? Let's go for Alvin Williams. I don't think it's going to matter too much long term, but Alvin's the pick. Blazers at 25, take Bobby Jackson. Wizards at 26, take Rick Brunson. So that brings up chat with back-to-back picks. There's not much left available, right? At point guard, you have Dana Barros, Sam Cassell, and Derek Fisher. Shooting guard is Eddie Jones and Randolph Childress. Forward is Mashburn and Malik Rose. Power forward, Garnett and Leitner. And at center, Ben Wallace and not much else. The problem is, there's not much available here. You could technically take John Thomas, and then one of the point guards is probably your best bet, right? Get a backup center and then take Brevin Knight or Rusty LaRue. Any disagreements, chat, on Brevin Knight and John Thomas, just to get it over with, since there's not much left in this draft? Any disagreement? There really shouldn't be. That's the best move to make. They're both younger players. Brevin Knight and John Thomas with these next two picks. Any disagreement? All right, John Thomas will be up first since you need a center more than the point guard in case a trade comes through, and it does. So that works out pretty well. 2 seconds. Ugh, that's awful. A first and a second for Rick Brunson. I mean, that's not too bad. No guarantee he's better than Brevin Knight, though, who's still on the board. Future first rounder. I mean, it's from Chicago. 2 years from now. But you never know. It could be higher. 2 seconds from the Clippers. 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. First rounder from the Jazz in 2001. You should take that. You should take that. That's the one to take. You know what? It's not even going to a vote. You'd be fucking idiots if you didn't take this. 28th and a second round pick for a Jazz pick in 01. That's a really good deal for you guys at this point. Again, you missed out on Brevin Knight, who would have been your fourth choice point guard. You guys do have a second round pick. Literally, it doesn't matter. You're not going to sign him anyway. Take Lawrence Cheatham. He's tall. And nope, you also have another pick. You took the tallest guy. Now the shortest guy is Jake Vincent. There you go. You don't want to make it to 01, though. You sure don't, but just in case you do, that's a decent way to go. As again, Tim Duncan off to Atlanta. Tracy McGrady is now a Celtic, as is Keith Van Horn. I end up with Chauncey Billups and Steven Jackson, which I don't hate. Could have argued Brad Miller over Jackson, but I was tempted, but that's not too bad. So for rookie signings, for Chat's Mavericks, obviously no reason to sign Cheatham and Vincent. They are dreadful. John Thomas is at least depth, but the other two are dreadful. For me, Billups, Jackson, and Alvin Williams, I'm going to sign all four of them. In terms of options this year, ideally, I'd pick up the option for all four. For you guys, same thing. I mean, Pat Samuels is at least depth. Really no reason to decline anybody's option there, especially, unless you want to let go of Kevin Garnett. I mean, feel free. Hershey Hawkins will be a free agent this year. In terms of qualifying offers, now again, these are the guys you have to worry about. Sam Cassell and Jamal Mashburn both need to be re-signed. I am going to let go of Matt Fish and Hubert Davis. I'd rather have the cap situation open. So you do have to re-sign, as you're $2 million over in cap already. I imagine Mashburn's the top target, right? And for the record, that's what he's looking at. Max value drops at about 5.33. 5 years. The bird writes to help you go over the cap. Any disagreement about that deal for Jamal Mashburn? Any disagreement? Is there a particular draft you're aiming for? Not at this point, no. I mean, every draft from here has a couple of players, mostly. Like 98's got Dirk, Pierce, Vince Carter. 99 has Sean Marion, Brand, Ginobili, a couple others. I think of Jason Terry. The 2000 draft is really like the only one to avoid over the next couple of years. So, outside of that, though, pretty much every draft has a couple of good players. All right, chat's going to go through with that deal to Mashburn. Sam Cassell. Controversial performance in the finals. If you were to let go of him, you do have Dana Barros and Derek Fisher as a backup. Are you content with letting go of Sam Cassell? I mean, he wants a good amount of money to be a second-choice point guard. And you guys saw how much better you were with Barros. Are you going to let Sam Cassell walk? And it looks like it. Anybody want to argue for keeping Sam Cassell, knowing he'd be your backup point guard? And he wants pretty much starter money. All right. So it looks like chat's good to let Sam Cassell go, but are looking to bring back Jamal Mashburn. For my Rockets, I do have bird rights on Glenn Rice. The problem is he wants so much fucking money. So much money. And even with him, I haven't gotten over the hump. And in that position, I do have Peja and Steven Jackson. I think I'm good with letting go of Glenn Rice after all this time. I think I'm good. That is just too much money at $9 million for a player who's a bit too inconsistent. So fair enough. Mashburn's accepted an offer from the Sixers. I'm not going to match it anyway. I am good to let go of everybody here. Yep. And then for you guys... Oh, wait, that's right. Mashburn accepted an offer from the Sixers. I'm good to let go of those guys. So, yeah, obviously you'll be matching the offer for Mashburn. 3 years, 21 mil. So you don't get the 5 years, but you got Mashburn for 3 years. And then let go of Sam Cassell. Who the hell signed Maxwell Page? The fuck? All right. Again, chat goes for Mashburn. I got really no reason to keep those two. I need that cap space to be opened. So we will get through the moratorium time frame. Chat keeps Jamal Mashburn. It technically has you as $1 million over the cap, so there's nothing else you can do right now. For myself, I have $800K in cap room. So at most, if there's a dude with good potential, I could bring them in, but that is about it. And I highly doubt that type of player exists for $800K that has a half-decent overall. So... yeah, that type of player is not going to exist. Okay, so nothing for either of us to do in free agency again. Fair enough. Actually, well, $800K. I think I needed a backup center. Hopefully they're not all gone. Point guard, we're good. Shooting guard. Yeah, I technically need an actual backup center. Who's left? That's willing to sign for $800K. Greg Ostertag! Fucking Guten Tag, Mr. Ostertag. There's also Andrew Delclaire. Can I sign Ostertag? What's league min, Ostertag? Are you willing to take that? I'll give you a little bit more. I don't have too much cap room, though. 750? Come on, Ostertag. You know you want it. Yeah! Welcome in, Greg. Big backup center. I have no fucking cap room. So the big signings this year, Weber stays with the Magic. Charles Barkley goes from the Suns to the Bucks. Of course, you guys kept Jamal Mashburn. Glenn Rice departs for Philadelphia. It was time to let him go. Gary Payton has left Seattle and gone to Toronto. Reggie Miller has left Golden State and gone to Utah. Dikembe Mutombo is still with the Nuggets. Penny Hardaway with the Celtics. John Stockton has essentially... Right? Yeah, he's essentially... Oh, no, he didn't swap places with Reggie. But he goes from Utah to Seattle. Van Exel with the Hawks. Hershey Hawkins to Sacramento. So the league has changed a decent amount. Dan Marley goes to Atlanta. Isaiah Ryder goes to Atlanta. So the Hawks are going to be ones to watch out for. Decent amount has just changed about the league. And then a very injured and worn down rapist has signed with Phoenix. Fair enough. In terms of player progression for my Rockets, Rasheed Wallace is up to a 90. Oh, baby, Peja. I made the right choice saving money. Peja up by 6. Jim Jackson by 1. I made the right decision to bank on Peja being a starter. Thank God. And for chat, Garnett by 3, Mashburn and Jones by 1. Ben Wallace went up by 7. Jesus Christ. Derek Fisher by 3. You guys are going to be just as competitive as ever. Ben Wallace, the +7. Holy fuck. Okay. All right. The 1998 NBA draft is upon us. And we will see what happens from there. We will go with Cobra. I imagine you guys will be at the top of the preseason power rankings again. I would imagine so. Yep. You are number 1. The Rockets at number 7. Fair enough. Where did Kobe go? I forget where Kobe got drafted to. It wasn't Minnesota, though. Someone in chat will remember. Pacers, that's right. So looking at our rosters for this year, starting off with chat's Mavericks. Barros, Fisher, and Austin Conley at point guard. Shooting guards are Eddie Jones and Randolph Childress. Forwards, Mashburn with Malik Rose. Power forwards, Garnett and Leitner. And at center, Ben Wallace. Still a pretty damn strong team. Pretty damn strong indeed. In terms of the block and untouchables, what are you guys thinking? I know there was still desire to put the 2000 pick up for grabs, even though the Sonics have it, because, again, the 2000 draft is pretty weak. I'm sure Garnett's an untouchable. What else are we thinking? Let me know. Let me know, chat. How do you want to set up the block and untouchable list for this year? Leitner should be on the block all the picks. Yeah, I mean, if your picks are going to be... If they're going to be late, it's not a terrible idea. Untouchable, Garnett, Mashburn, Leitner on the block, just to see. Bunch of future first rounders, Leitner on the block, Mashburn and Garnett untouchable. Are you okay with that? Wallace untouchable as well. Are you okay with that? Eddie Jones on the block, huh? With a dribble. Are you okay with this? Oh, goodness. Goodness. No Flow chat's up 1-0 this year for the Arrows. Is chat good with this? Take a good look. Let me know. I'm going to take a look, though, at what your lineup is going to be this year. As again, well, you brought in a new coach this year who's pretty damn good. Barros, Jones, Mashburn, Garnett, Wallace, Leitner as the sixth man, with Wallace starting. Fisher, Childress, Rose all getting some playing time. Christian Leitner as the sixth man is an interesting turn of events. It's still a hell of a team, though. Hell of a team. For my Rockets, what do I got going on here? Point guards, Billups, Strickland, Snow, and Williams. Okay. Shooting guards, Jackson and LeBradford Smith. Stojakovic and Jackson at forward. Scritz, what's going on? Rasheed Wallace, Dickie Simpkins, Mark Jackson at power forward, and then centers, Brown and Ostertag. Not bad. Salad Tongues. In this game, you can control more than one team. So Chat has their team, Dallas Mavericks. I have my team, the Houston Rockets. First to win a title wins. And there's different eras in NBA, so we go throughout all the different eras. Right now, we are in the Jordan era that starts in 91. We are currently in 97. Did you ever regret not trading PJ? To be honest, no. He's a defensive machine. I love him. I love him. I could have gotten a decent amount for him, but I think he's been really, really good for me. Okay, untouchable list for me is Sheed and Peja, easily. The era goes till someone wins the title, yeah. You could technically go way down the road in the future. Billups is also going to be an untouchable. Jim Jackson, I think, has to be... Well... Yeah, Peja is going to be the starter. Sheets the starter. Everybody else, though, we could technically get an upgrade on. And for draft picks this year, up in the air just how many I'll have. I am going to take a similar approach to Chat and say that I'm willing to trade my own first, though, because I don't think they're going to be that good. I'm kind of willing to see what options are. What does the nuke do? So the nuke is the only way that you are ever allowed to actively trade players via the trade finder. Otherwise, the only trades you can get are the ones that are offered to you. You can use the nuke in a more tactical sense to be able to make your team that much better to push for a title. Traditionally, it is used to be like, okay, this core isn't it. Let's sell off our core. Guarantee we get trades for them instead of someone maybe leaving when their contract's up. So I think I'm good with that. I'm willing to hear offers on everyone but Peja and Sheed. Yeah. Okay. And then my team for this year. You got Billups, Jim Jackson, Peja, Rasheed Wallace, PJ Brown. I really don't mind that. Strickland, Smith. I really don't mind that. I just might not be better for it this year because of Billups only being a 77. But overall, I do like the way my team looks too. So let's see what happens. Yet another season to sim here. This time, the 97-98 season. Let's see how this goes. As I immediately get an offer for PJ Brown, but it's for Anthony. No, unless it's Carmelo Anthony. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right. Interesting trade for my Rockets here. Didn't think I'd ever be able to trade LeBradford Smith for a first. The problem is it's a 2000s first. LeBradford is a fine depth guard, which I don't really have. I honestly got to turn that down. Never thought I'd get a first-round pick offer for Bradford Smith, but I got to turn it down. I need him. Folly, I'm doing well, though, man. How are you? Rockets actually under 500 right now. Chat. It's top 5 protected. I was going to say, Leitner for Gugliotta. Man, Leitner's making less money than Tom Gugliotta. I know that's going to be a no, especially because that's protected and could be a 2000s first. Man, how the hell is Tom Gugliotta making more money than Christian Leitner? You don't really need Kendall Gill, though, right? You have Eddie Jones. Yeah. And again, you already saw Leitner's on a hell of a deal. You are getting offers for Leitner, though. So, PJ Brown for Kevin Willis. That's a no. I'll trade PJ Brown for Shaquille O'Neal. Barros in a first for Otis Thorpe. You don't need the power forward, and you don't need to trade Dana Barros at point guard, so that's also a no. I don't know if you've noticed chat's record so far this year. 3rd time's the charm, chat, for you guys to win a fucking title. 23-1 as of December 20th. Brown, it's got to be Tyrone Hill. I'm going to say no to that, too. Chat. That's an interesting one. It does make your team worse now, but you do get Tim Duncan. Again, Leitner, 28 years old. Tim Duncan's 21. Your team is destroying worlds right now. So you might fuck it up if you